100 years of the glorious history is not only a matter of pride but also a call to new responsibility. New responsibility. Before we go further, we must pause to remember our beloved comrades who are not physically with us today, but whose memory and legacy will always remain with us. We remember Comrade Suravaram Sudhagar Reddy, whose life was dedicated to building the party and guiding us with his wisdom and clarity. We remember Comrade Suravaram Sudhagar Reddy, who is no more with us. Comrade Atul Kumar Anjan, a tireless fighter for the rights of the peasants and workers, whose voice powerfully echoed the concerns of our country. We remember Comrade Kanam Rajendran, a pillar of strength in Kerala and a fighter who embodied the militant and mass character of our party. Their passing has left us poorer, but their contributions enrich our struggle. This Congress is also a tribute to them, tribute to those comrades and their legacy. We should also be conscious that the Congress is taking place on the historic soil of Punjab. Punjab is a land that has given India some of its tallest heroes. It was here that the Gadar movement was born under the leadership of Sogan Singh Bakana. It was here that young Kartar Singh Sarbana, he raised the banner of revolution against the mighty British Empire. It was from this land that Udham Singh avenged the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and it was here that Bhagat Singh, our Bhagat Singh, grew into one of the greatest revolutionaries that country has ever produced. Notwithstanding the call of Inqulab Zindabad, now it is reverberating all over the country. Comrades, the people of Punjab in general have always been at the forefront of sacrifices, whether in the anti-colonial struggle, in the struggles of peasants and workers, or in defending the unity of the country. The Communist Party itself has deep roots in this land. Our Congress has been hosted here thrice. This is fourth time at Amritsar Congress, Amritsar. We had party Congress It was in the year 1958. Then we had Party Congress in Batinda in 1978 after emergency. And we had Party Congress in the same Chandigarh city in 2005. Each time Punjab has provided inspiration to the entire party, energy and new direction to the movement. We must also remember the blood of hundreds of our comrades who laid down their lives in this very land fighting fanaticism and terrorism. The name of Comrade Darshan Singh Canadian and countless others will always remain on integral part of our red history, integral part of the Communist Party's history, the red history. Comrades, we gather at a time when the world is undergoing deep turmoil. The suffering of the Palestinian people continues. Entire generations in Gaza are being wiped out by Israel with the full support of US imperialism. The barbarity is unending. The so-called rules-based world order stands exposed as nothing but the rules of imperialist domination. Across West Asia and Africa, wars and conflicts are tearing societies apart, driven not by the needs of people, but by the hunger of imperialist powers for oil, gas, minerals, and strategic control. The inter-imperialist rivalries between the United States and Europe are sharpening. Donald Trump is trying to weaponize tariffs to coerce the nations into domination, trying to uphold the decadent hegemony of the US and the West. The world order we see is precisely what Lenin, the great Lenin, described more than a century ago in his classic work, Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. Monopoly capital, finance capital, international cartels, inter-imperialist rivalries, wars, every feature he analyzed is present before us today, is in new and more dangerous forms. What Lenin has described, that is before us in a new and dangerous forms. At the same time, humanity is facing a terrible contradiction. We have we live in the age of unprecedented technological advancement. Science and technology have reached heights never imagined before. The productive capacity of humanity is vast, and yet the living standards of the majority of people are declining. Hunger stalks the world. Inequality is at grotesque levels. Health and education remain privileges for the few, not rights of all. Education is not right. Education, health is not right for all, but they remain privileges for a few people. Why this is so? Because the capitalist model of development is inherently exploitative, inherently incapable of ensuring prosperity for all. Capitalism can never ensure prosperity for all. Capitalism thrives not by satisfying human needs, but by producing profit for a handful. This is why we see environmental catastrophe. Today, the capitalist system loots the nature in the same way it loots individual lives. Entire communities forced to displacement as climate refugees. Yet there is resistance. There is resistance. We must be optimistic. We must be hopeful for the future. In Latin America, once again, the left is emerging, winning governments and challenging the imperialist dictators. Alternative global formations between countries of the global south are resisting the imperialist designs. Now, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, we have seen massive people's movements against corruption, against economic collapse, against authoritarian rulers. These struggles have produced different political outcomes, from progressive, some disappointing, but they all show the same truth. People's anger is simmering across the world. People's anger across the world. People are refusing to accept misery as fate. Now people do not want to agree that misery is what is fate written on your head. It is destiny. No. People are refusing to accept that. People are refusing to accept the misery as fate. However, about the intervention of the left without a revolutionary and democratic direction, such anger risks being captured by right-wing, sectarian and authoritarian forces. This is why the role of communists and left forces worldwide is decisive to connect with the mass struggles, to give them clarity and to channel them towards socialism and democracy. It is the task before the left and communist movements. Comrades, our own country is passing through an equally critical period. India is passing through a critical period. The year 2014 was a watershed movement. The coming of BJP to power with an absolute majority was not just a change of government. It was a qualitative change in the nature of our polity, It was a qualitative change. For the first time, the RSS, the organization which never took part in our great freedom struggle, which opposed the very constitution of India, which has been given to us by the prime architect Dr. Ambedkar and galaxy of leaders. RSS, which has always harbored contempt for secular democracy, took full control of the union government through its political arm, the BJP. Since then, we are witnessing systematic assault on the very foundations of Indian Republic. Parliament has been reduced to be redundant. If Parliament becomes redundant, where is the democracy? That's what we should understand. The judiciary is pressurized and weakened. Federalism is trampled upon. Federalism. After all, Constitution defines India, that is Bharat, union of states. It is not unitary, union of states. So, federalism is trampled upon. The media is lured and turned into a propaganda machine. Scientific institutions are choked, minorities are demonized, persecuted, Dalits, Adivasis, women and the poor are subjected to growing violence. RSS is trying to polarize the people, instigate violence at all levels. The BJP RSS project, their design, is nothing less than the attempt to convert our secular democratic republic into a theocratic nation, into a Hindu Rashtra, which is hierarchical, theocratic and fascist. Let us recall here the warning given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on the floor of the Constituent Assembly. He said that the idea of Hindu Rashtra would be the greatest calamity for our nation. If theocratic nation, India becomes theocratic nation, that is the biggest calamity for India, whose words, Ambedkar's words, ring truer, very true today than ever before. The calamity that Ambedkar feared is what the BJP RSS are trying to impose on India. And they are doing so by combining the most aggressive communal politics with the most ruthless crony capitalism. Today, who are being patronized to loot the country, to loot the people, Adanis, Ambanis, we all know. A handful of corporate houses are being given complete control over resources, our infrastructure, even our policies, privatization of public sector, dismantling of labor rights, destruction of welfare programs. All of this is happening hand in hand with communal polarization, suppression of dissent, and authoritarian rule. This is the model of fascism in India. Authoritarianism, politics, plus monopoly capitalism, it allowed to continue. If this is allowed to continue, it will destroy not only democracy, but also the very idea of India as a plural, inclusive, democratic republic. The 2024 elections showed the resistance, that resistance is possible, that India bloc was able to bring down BJP's tally in parliament to 240, depriving BJP of a majority, single party majority. This was setback to the fascist forces, but let us not be complacent. The bloc lacked cohesion, lacked clarity of objectives, lacked a common agenda beyond electoral arithmetics. To defeat fascism, we need more than numbers. We need political unity based on clear principles. We need secularism, democracy, social justice, and people's welfare at the core. This is where the left has a decisive role. The left is the most consistent and uncompromising force against fascist forces, fascist designs. Left is not a matter of, left unity is not a matter of convenience. It is a historic necessity. That is what our party feels. Left unity is a historic necessity. It alone can provide ideological clarity, moral legitimacy, and organizational strength to the broader opposition. Only the left can provide an alternative vision rooted in equality, secularism, democracy, and socialism. Comrades, the BJP's reckless policies have created multifaceted crisis. Unemployment is at unprecedented high. With our youth losing hope in the future, public education and health are being dismantled, handed over to private profiteers. Food security is under attack, with public distribution system being eroded and hunger increasing in our country. The farmers or kisans are being betrayed even after their historic struggle. We all witnessed, particularly the farmers from Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana, they were in the forefront of the historic struggle, and they came to Delhi and they were not allowed to enter into Delhi, but they did not move. They surrounded Delhi and led this historic struggle. Media, this housing, when we talk of poor people, housing for the poor remains a dream. Media has been stripped of neutrality, turned into a weapon of lies and hate. If you go through any media, you find how falsehoods are spread and lies are spread. And inequality has reached shameful extremes in India, in countries of global south, we must say. With a few billionaires richer than the entire population of the bottom half. In India it happens. A few Adanis, Ambanis, they are richer than the bottom 50% of our population. This is not accidental. This is the direct outcome of the communal corporate nexus. On one side communal, on the other side corporate. This is the nexus that is emerging in India. And this is represented by BJP and RSS. We must say it clearly, unless BJP is removed from power, unless the poison of their ideology is purged from society and institutions, India cannot survive as a democracy. India cannot survive as a democracy. That is why the common resolve was declared. Desh Bachao, BJP Hatao. Desh Bachao, BJP Hatao. Even in Bihar, the slogan is Badlo Sarkar, Bachao Bihar. Everywhere, that is the concern expressed by the people. What then are our tasks? What are the tasks we have? We must build the Communist Party of India stronger, deeper in the struggles of workers, peasants, women, youth, students, Dalits, Adivasis, and all marginalized sections. The second task, I think, we must overcome narrowness and forge greater left unity, and present a clear ideological banner before the nation. Left is here, and left stands united, and we have a vision for India, an ideological vision. Third, we must work for the broadest possible unity of secular democratic forces, not on opportunistic electoral calculations, but on the basis of defending the Constitution, people's rights, and federalism. Fourth, we must deepen our engagement in mass movements for employment, education, health, gender justice, caste annihilation, environmental protection, and democratic rights. We must also learn to raise new forms of communication, including digital platforms, to connect with the younger generation and to spread the socialist vision. So, comrades, as we inaugurate the 25th Congress of the party, let us remember we are the heirs to a century of struggles. From the Gadar movement to the martyrs of Telangana, from the workers of Bombay, Kolkata, and Puducherry, to the peasants of Punjab, Bengal, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, from the anti-colonial battles to the present defense of democracy, the party has always been the voice of the voiceless, the defender of the downtrodden people, the vanguard of the justice. We should be proud that we are the vanguard of justice for the people. Bhagat Singh said that revolution is not about bombs and pistols. This is what Bhagat Singh said. Bhagat Singh said that the revolution is not about bombs and pistols, but about radical transformation of society, of the society as a whole. That remains our mission. We want a radical transformation of Indian society. That is our mission. The centenary of CPI is not just about celebrating the past. Yes, we celebrate, but it is not just celebrating the past, but about taking up the call of the future, what we are going to do in the future, what we will do for the future. So that is what we should understand. The Congress must send out a clear message to the people of India. We will resist fascism. We will defend the Constitution. We will fight for employment, education, health, food, housing, and above all, dignity of the people. Right to dignity will have to be defended. That is what our Constitution says. We will build an India of equality. We, the people of India, must feel we are equal. So we will have to build the idea India. We will have to fight for a new India that is of equality, secularism, democracy, and socialism. Our whole perspective is, whole mission is to change the country and build the country as a socialist one. And we shall march forward. Now the leaders of left are here. They are also discussing, and we will have to put our heads together. We will have to put our efforts together how to strengthen the mass movement, the mass upheaval against the present society, present rulers. That's what we should think over. Our party Congress gives this message, and we will have to carry forward this message. So, comrades, as just to inaugurate this Congress, I outlined certain issues, I outlined certain tasks before us, and we will have to work towards that mission, and for which we need to strengthen our party also. So let us strengthen the CPI, and let us strengthen the left unity, communist unity. So comrades, I conclude by saying, long live the Communist Party of India. Long live the Communist Party of India. Long live the left unity. Long live the left unity. Inqulab Zindabad. Inqulab Zindabad. Lal Salam, comrades. I formally inaugurate the 25th Congress of the party.
Thanks, comrade. Formal inaugural